What's good, YouTube? We back with another video, man. Before I get into it, I hope you guys have been locked in. I hope you guys have been taking care of yourselves, right? I'm gonna talk to y'all about something, man. Anytime you get lustful, anytime you even think about wanting to masturbate or watch porn, or maybe you're horny, this is what I want you to do. I want you to get down on the ground and do 100 push-ups, bro. Okay? Get down on the ground and do 100 push-ups. Hold on. Y'all probably can't really see. Get down on the ground and do 100 push-ups. All right. I'm not finna do 100 push-ups because I just did 100 push-ups. All right. Now you're probably thinking, why? Okay. Listen, I just got through doing 100 push-ups not too long ago, probably like 10 minutes. So that's why I sound out of breath, because I just did 100 push-ups. So obviously I'm not finna do it again, okay? Because I'm out of breath. But guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I think push-ups is literally the best way to defeat your lust quickly. Okay. And let me explain to y'all why. Okay. I felt like earlier today, I was lustful. Okay. I was lustful, not horny, but like lustful. Like it wasn't horny, but I was lustful. Like I had that sexual intent. You can have that sexual intent without even being horny, okay? That's lust. So I was lustful. And I had sexual intent on my mind, okay? A part of me wanted to just go ahead and just masturbate, you know what I mean, and just release. But before I got to that point, right when I realized that I was at that point, I literally got down on the floor and started spamming push-ups. And you want to know something? I literally felt so much better, and I locked right back in. And it went away. It did. It went away. And I was able to focus back in, lock back in, and everything. Then, literally not too long ago, I was literally laying on my bed, and I was supposed to be okay. I was going to post this video that I made, but I ended up just scrapping it because it was too long. So I ended up remaking another one, which is the video about determination. I ended up scrapping the original one. I just remade it. But I had got lustful, okay? I had gotten sexual intent. I had sexual intent on my mind, okay? And what I ended up doing was I ended up going on Instagram, and I kind of started scrolling. Like, this is how it usually starts, because when I have that sexual intent on my mind, I start to go on Instagram and I start to scroll and kind of just look at, like, different. It's like I get mind control, right? I just start kind of just going on Instagram, scrolling, and I see girls on there. I look at these girls, and I end up becoming more lustful, and the lust will build up over time until eventually it takes over and wins, right? But before it got to that point, because usually it will get to that point and I end up relapsing, but before it got to that point, first thing first, my app blocker thing that I downloaded on my phone cut it off. I'm so glad I did that. That's the first thing, right? I downloaded an app blocker on my phone recently to where, I can set a limit on how long I'm actually on the app, on social media, or just any app that I choose. And the reason why I did that, because I realized that social media is a distraction, okay? And I was having problems with trying to post on social media and still not let it become a distraction, okay? So I actually found the perfect solution. I didn't think of this, but an app blocker, okay? So obviously, as y'all know, like, you can set it up to however you want, and the app blocker will get you out the app at a certain amount of time, okay? And I said the limit to like 5-10 minutes, okay? And that's enough time for me to only get on there and post it and get off, right? So if I end up scrolling or doing anything like that, after like 5-10 minutes, it's gonna close me out. And see, that's what it did. So usually I get distracted and I'll be like, oh, but once it closed me out, I kind of snapped out of it. And I realized I had that sexual intent on my mind. So I literally turned my phone off. I went on the ground because I was starting to get lustful, man. I was actually starting to get horny, okay? And I ended up doing 100 push-ups, straight, 100 push-ups, man. And after doing 100 push-ups, I no longer have that sexual intent. I no longer am horny. And now I am back locked in making this video. So I know there's a lot of people out there struggling with their lust, but I feel like that this right here is the key, okay? Every time you get that sexual urge, turn your phone off and spam push-ups. But first, download an app blocker, okay? Because you might not have the willpower to turn your phone off. Like once you're hooked, you're kind of hooked, okay? But if you have an app blocker on your phone, it's gonna stop you before you get hooked. So I had the app blocker to stop me before I got too far into my lust. Before my lust grew even more to the point where I was just gonna give up. And then once it shut it off, I kind of snapped out of it and I was able to like come back to my senses. And I realized, oh crap. So I ended up going down, doing 100 push-ups, and it helped me. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I did that twice today, and I've been perfectly fine. And I feel like that's the key, is that every time I get horny or every time I have sexual intent, spam push-ups. I feel like that's the key. That's the method. That literally might be the method, you know? Like, and plus with the app blocker, it's not gonna keep me on the app forever. And I have one where I can't bypass it either. You know what I mean? I can literally set a timer and it's gonna keep the apps blocked until that timer is up. So I can set 4, 5 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours. And during them hours that I set, it's gonna keep the apps blocked. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is the method to defeat your lust, okay? So I'm still figuring it out, y'all. Like, I'm not sitting here saying I've had it all figured out, but I feel like so far, this has been helping me. And I've only started doing this today. I just started doing this today. You know what I mean? And I feel like doing push-ups is good because it automatically distracts your brain and takes the blood flow away from the area. Okay, that's why I feel like it gets rid of your horniness as well. You know what I mean? Because the one thing I realized on defeating lust is that you have to distract your brain. You have to have your brain thinking about something else, man. You have to distract your brain. You have to pivot your brain. Okay, that didn't sound right, but you know what I mean. Because as long as you're still thinking about sexual stuff, your urges are still going to be there. But the moment you decide to distract your brain by doing something else, your brain will stop to think about that sexual stuff. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's it, man. So I feel like that is how you do it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like, comment, subscribe, man. And yeah, see y'all in the next one. Peace.